What's up, guys, and welcome to Paranautical Activity, a game that, if you want to describe it, it's a first-person shooter mixed with The Binding of Isaac or some other roguelike, but more specifically Binding of Isaac. And it's crazy fun, currently, I think, in alpha. But before we really get into the video, I want to say thank you to IndieGameStand.com, which without them, I would have maybe not been able to make this video or even have this game. They are a cool indie website where they let you, for like a few days, they'll put a game out there and you pay what you want for it. And it's really awesome. And because they have some really great indie games, of course, Paranautical Activity, I'm not sure if they've sold this game yet, but they will eventually. And they've sold The Real Texas. I think they're selling the indie game $80.89 right now. And it's $10 or pay what you want. And I think it's like 20%, a certain percent of the proceeds go to charity. Charity of the indie game owner's choice, from my knowledge. I looked at the website and I made an account and it's really awesome, and I plan on buying a lot of fun indie games from there. And I suggest you do too. But as you can see, I'm running around shooting people up. I decided to go with the shotgun because that's what I work with best. But it's a very, very difficult game to get started with. When I first played it last night, I thought, oh god, there's no way I'm ever going to play this decently. But that was actually after a 4-hour car ride. So, you know, if you have no sleep and you sit in a car for 4 hours straight, I don't suggest playing this game afterwards. I suggest you get some sleep, like any sane person. But if you actually sit down and play this game for an hour or two, you really get used to the first-person style of it. And it's actually really fun and not as difficult as it first seems. I pick up the Adderall here. This is a little item room. Pick it up and you get the speed up. And as a tank, you want some speed, because you're very slow and you take a lot of damage because of just how slow you are. It's hard to dodge things. So some speed really helps this guy out. And there's also a lot of bosses. Of course, there's a boss in every room. There's actually 2 bosses in every room. Sort of weird how it works. There's like a main boss room where if you beat it, you get an item and you go to the next level. But there's also another boss room where you just get an item for it. Which it seems like the boss room where you just get an item is actually the harder boss, in my experiences. But you can see the map on the middle bottom here, and that'll tell you where to go. And it works, like I said, a lot like Binding of Isaac. You go into a room, you cannot leave this room until you just kill all the enemies, and then you keep on doing that until you beat a boss and go to the next level, or you get all the items you want, you go through all the rooms and everything. It works very, very similarly to Binding of Isaac. One thing, though, is it does have a lot of differences. One thing you can see is the art style. It's very voxel-based, and it's very good-looking. It's different, but it still looks, you know, good. Not only that, but I really like the music. I've been jamming out to it ever since I started playing it the other night. And here I got a double jump, which really helps. One thing that I have a hard time remembering that is really nice to do in this game is to double jump and jump around and really be active like that, because it's really hard to dodge. Because if you actually do start moving around, though, it's very hard for them to hit you. It's almost like the same issue I had with Tribes Ascend. I just had a hard time remembering to move and shoot, and I also have a hard time just doing it in general. I have a hard time aiming when moving. I'm not the best first-person shooter person. There's very few first-person shooters that I'm actually really good at. Anyways, though, there are some things I feel like this game has that are really fun that I haven't seen yet. Like, you know, just how the game plays in general is really, really cool, and the design of it, straight up, is just pretty cool. One thing I thought was missing, though, that, you know, I see a lot in other games, is sort of a lack of character. You see in Binding of Isaac, you're this, you know, little kid, but you have like a story. You sort of have a bit of a drive to, you know, go and do this. While in this game, so far, all you know is that you have a gun and you want to shoot things. Like, really, that's it. You sort of just figure everything else out and, you know, put it to what you want it. But I don't know, that's something I personally prefer, is something in depth that I can actually care about, like the story. That's always something like I care about in Binding of Isaac or in any other games I play. Now, that doesn't mean there'll never be any type of story. Just in the current version of the game that I'm playing, there's no really story. You're just dropped off into the game and you just play. You know, that's not always so horrible, but I feel like for a game like this, I would like a little drive, a little incentive story-wise. That would be really nice in my opinion. You can see I'm fighting this big evil moth, and in my opinion, moths are some of the hardest enemies in the game so far. One of the things that makes them so hard is that the little white projectiles they shoot, as you can see, they don't just stop, they sort of just follow you around. As you can see, they're starting to spin around me, and until it hits a wall, it'll keep coming. And that can be really hard and really frustrating to deal with, because you have to be watching the front of you and the back of you. It's very difficult. Here I get the spring, which helps me jump higher. And now I'm jumping so high and so far that I could really use an item called the anchor. And now what the anchor does is that lets me drop, like when I'm in the air, I'll drop faster, which can be nice, so I can just hop more, and I can just use the jumps for momentum more than for height. And that's really what you want to focus with the jumps, is momentum. You want a lot of momentum so you can dodge a lot. And it seems like I keep on getting stuck on the staircases. I think that's just me. I don't think that's a problem with the game. I think I'm just straight up horrible. But you never know. So right now I'm just clearing out the room. I think this is my last room before I go into the boss room and finish everything up. And just go into the next level. I do get pretty far in this one. This was one of my better runs so far. I'm not sure if there is an end game or if it goes on forever, how it really works, what my goal is really. But from my knowledge, the level design doesn't change. It doesn't like Binding of Isaac in that sense either, how the deeper you go, the more different it gets. I got to like 3 to 4 levels and everything still looked the same. But you gotta remember that this is an alpha. Whatever impression I get, whatever impression you get, take it with a grain of salt, because you never know what might change, what might become a lot more awesome in the future. Okay, so it looks like we can keep on making our way, and we're gonna go check out the items, see what other things we can buy. We do pick up the spinach, I believe. No, I don't know. I'm watching this after I recorded it, and it looks like we increased our health a bit. One thing is different is the health system. You also have shields, which is really awesome. I like the shields idea. It just, you know, helps you protect yourself. You can lose shields before you lose hearts. You know, we're just like the Grey Hearts do in the Binding of Isaac, really. But the hearts are just, you find them on the ground, and you have 9 out of 12 right now, but of course that can be boosted. You also have bombs, but bombs look really weird. They're hard to aim. There's actually a class, and if you saw in the beginning of the episode, I got to pick out a class to play. And it starts me out with whatever gun I pick, whatever gun it has, and also gives me different stats, like depending on what gun I picked, I'll have a certain amount of health, and a certain amount of speed, and movement speed, and all that kind of stuff. But one of the guns is actually called Dynamite, and it shoots bombs. And there are a lot of bomb upgrades in this game. There's like more floaty bombs, there's poison bombs, there's sticky bombs, and all of the bomb upgrades not only affect your normal bombs, but your dynamite gun. And that makes it really nice and really special. And it's like, when you're playing that guy, you want to play differently than you would this guy. You would want to look more towards the bomb upgrades, but for this guy, you want to look more towards the speed upgrades and the jumping upgrades. And for another guy, there's, you know, bow and arrow, and he's really fast, and he does a lot of damage if you know how to aim. But if you don't have any health, you're gonna die really quick, so you want to look for health for that guy. You want to be conservative with how you play. Well, I mean, personally, I'm a very careful person when it comes to games like this. So I'm conservative 100% of the time, no matter who I'm playing. For the most part. I don't like to play it risky. But after you clear everyone out in the room, it seems like, yeah, you can just keep on going. And I'm just trying to clear out this room. And of course, just like any other roguelike, if you die, it's game over. You have to start off from the beginning again. It stinks, but it's something, a gameplay style I've been getting used to, and it's a gameplay style I'm starting to love. And the only thing that can really make this genre better right now, besides the fact that they're making more and more games of it, is it to go portable. There's something about this style of game that's more addictive than an MMO to me. MMOs, you're supposed to nearly dedicate your life to a game like an MMO, or a MOBA like Dota or League of Legends. It feels like the people have their whole lives invested in that. But through this, I even find sometimes more addicting than that. I pick up the flip-flops here, I think. I didn't have enough money for the mystery box, so I pick up the flip-flops. Oh no, I try to go back for the mystery box. Oh, I can't decide. Never mind. But that would make things so much more awesome if we had more of games like this on the portable side too. Because I was out for 4 days this weekend, and I would have killed for a portable version of Binding of Isaac. or a portable version of any roguelike. Because when I beat all my portable games, and I can't just go out and buy another one, it's like, I sort of get bored, you know? Like, what am I supposed to do in a 4-hour car ride with all the games I've already beaten? I'm not really the kind of person who likes to replay games. Not really my style. But, really, that's about it. Like, this roguelike style of gameplay has been booming the last few years, and I think it's going to continue to do that. As I die here, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.